Have you ever gone for a swim in the ocean, caught a wave in the face, and ended up with a mouthful of salt water? That stuff is salty, like aggressively salty, not just a little sprinkle on your fries salty. We're talking mouth puckering, eye squinting, why did I do that salty? But here's the real mystery. Why is ocean water salty in the first place? It's not like the clouds rain down salt or that Poseidon's out there throwing sea salt into the waves like some gourmet chef of the deep. So what gives? Let's dive in. Pun totally intended. It all starts with rocks. Believe it or not, the salt in the ocean comes from rocks. Yep, those boring, solid, seemingly flavorless chunks of earth that you probably ignore while hiking or skip across a lake. When rain falls on land, it doesn't just soak into the soil or make your hair frizzy. Rainwater is slightly acidic, think you carbon dioxide, and it slowly breaks down the minerals in rocks through a process called weathering. These minerals contain all sorts of ions, like sodium, chloride, calcium, and magnesium. As these minerals dissolve, they get carried by rivers and streams into the ocean. This process has been happening for millions, scratch that, billions of years. Over time, the ocean has become a giant soup of minerals, with sodium and chloride, aka table salt, making up the majority of the saltiness. Rivers are actually not that salty. Wait. If rivers are bringing all this salt, why aren't rivers salty too? Good question, science detective. The thing is, rivers are constantly moving and flowing, and they don't have enough time to accumulate high concentrations of salt. Plus, they're always being replenished with fresh rainwater. But the ocean? That's a different story. The water doesn't go anywhere. Sure, some evaporates into the air, but guess what? The salt doesn't evaporate with it. It stays behind, chilling in the sea like it owns the place. So over time, the salt builds up. The ocean's been hoarding salt for billions of years like a dragon hoards treasure. If oceans had wallets, they'd be salty billionaires by now. What about underwater volcanoes? Ah, you remembered. The ocean floor isn't just mud and fish poop. There are hydrothermal vents, basically underwater volcanoes where seawater seeps into cracks in the Earth's crust, gets heated up, and comes shooting back out loaded with minerals. These vents also add to the saltiness of the ocean. So between rivers, rock erosion, and deep-sea hot springs, the sea's got itself a full-time salt supply. The salt isn't just for taste. You might think all this salt is just to mess with your taste buds or ruin your beach picnic sandwiches, but it actually plays a huge role in keeping marine life alive. Salt helps regulate the density of seawater, which affects ocean currents and temperatures. It also helps marine animals maintain their internal balance. Fish, for example, are constantly battling to keep the right amount of salt inside their bodies. It's like a constant game of don't shrivel, don't explode. But not all oceans are equally salty. Here's a fun twist. Not all parts of the ocean are equally salty. The saltiest bodies in water on Earth include the Red Sea and the Dead Sea, which is actually a lake, but let's not get technical. Why? Hot weather plus high evaporation, not a lot of rain, equals salt party. Meanwhile, areas with lots of rainfall or freshwater rivers like the Arctic tend to be less salty. It's kind of like how some people are sweet and some are a little extra. So can you make table salt from the ocean? Technically, yes. That's how sea salt is made. But unless you've got the patience of a monk and a few hundred gallons of seawater lying around, it's probably easier to just grab a shaker from the kitchen. Random but awesome. There's enough salt to bury the Earth. Ready for a brain bender? If you took all the salt dissolved in the ocean and spread it evenly over all the land on Earth, you'd have a layer of salt over 500 feet thick. That's taller than a 40-story building. Yep, the ocean is basically the biggest, saltiest pantry on the planet. And no, it's not fish pee. Let's just get this one out of the way. Yes, fish do pee in the ocean, but no, that's not why it's salty. The amount of salt in fish urine is like dropping a teaspoon into a swimming pool. The real salt, as we said, comes from rocks and Earth's plumbing system. Fish pee is just extra seasoning. In summary, with salt. So, to sum it all up, rain breaks down rocks, rivers carry minerals to the ocean ocean holds onto salt like a hoarder, underwater volcanoes add bonus flavor, the salt keeps marine life functioning, some seas are saltier than others, and there's enough salt in the ocean to turn Earth into a giant pretzel. So the next time you taste that unmistakable zing of salt in ocean water, hopefully not on purpose, remember, you're sipping on ancient rocks, hydrothermal vents, and eons of geologic drama. And if anyone tries to tell you it's fish pee, kindly point them to this video. Now go hit that like, share this salty truth, and subscribe to Wiseuse for more weird wonders of the world.